5 to 9. Let's bring you up to date with the front pages. They look like this. Doctors will get a pay rise if they call off the strikes. This is in the Times. The Health Secretary seeks to resume negotiations.
Doctors raise the spectre of NHS strikes until 2025. That's the warning on the front of the Express this morning.
Here's the Mirror. Super teacher hit squads. Labour plans to send in reinforcements to struggling schools. We spoke to the Shadow Schools Minister on this earlier in the programme. Daily Mail
says it's time to put the brakes on the damaging petrol car ban, which is scheduled for just 6 years' time.
No new diesel or petrol cars in, what did you say, 6 years' time?
2030, by 2030.
What is it now, 2020?
23.
Yes, that's 7 years' time.
7. Shall we start by... Oh, hang on, there's another paper to go through. Out of order, says The Sun. It's talking about the behaviour that Biggins was so eloquently describing last hour at Lord's yesterday. And it certainly got us all talking this morning and continuing to talk with us this morning through the papers. Christopher Biggins and Claire Pearsall. Welcome back to both of you. Claire, you want to talk about death?
Yeah, this is the Mail, page 5. Death as seen by the Co-op.
It is. Co-op Funeral Care have got a new service, Resumation, which is quite amusingly but probably tastelessly referred to as boil in the bag.
Oh no.
Cremation. But I think we were talking about sort of people living longer in death, and you shouldn't be afraid of it. So I think we need to have a conversation. We need to look at how we deal with death and what we do. But
so is this disposing of the body?
It is. It's the body of the deceased is enclosed in a biodegradable pouch, placed in a container filled with pressurized water and potassium hydroxide. And the point is that everything dissolves. Melts. I mean, it's an unpleasant topic for this time of day, but it's a more environmentally friendly way. It's a quicker way of dealing with.
You literally boil in the bag, and then they pour you down the drain.
And then the bones are dried out, and they go into powder form, and that can be given back to the family if they want to keep ashes of their loved one. And it is a quicker way, and it's a reduced time for.
So you decompose in how long?
I believe it takes about 4 hours.
Oh my! And then your bones are left.
No. Is it cheaper? All the guts and the bladder and the heart and the.
Sounds messy.
I doubt if it's cheaper.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very cheap.
No, and the practice is growing in places like the US, Canada, and South Africa. So it's one of these things that's going to come. But I think that perhaps the British are a little squeamish.
Oh, we're so squeamish. I can't have a sensible conversation with my husband about anything, about what we'll do when we die, because he will not talk about it. And all he ever comes out with, cryogenics. I just want to be frozen. And I'm like, stop being ridiculous. But he honestly thinks he's going to be frozen. I said, that would be awful.
To be then thawed out sometime in the future.
Exactly.
Will they find a cure?
I'd be quite happy in a wicker basket under a beautiful oak tree somewhere where I can just,
You want to be buried, do you?
I definitely don't want to be cremated, and I certainly don't want splashes to splashes.
The actor Bela Lugosi.
Yes.
He's famous for playing Count Dracula.
Absolutely.
Do you know what he was buried in?
What?
The Dracula costume.
Oh, really?
His coffin. There's pictures of it and everything. That he lies in the coffin.
Oh, nice way to go.
Like a vampire.
You could be in that suit and that tie.
Well, I would like to be buried, not like Isabel in some cheap old wicker basket. I want a grand coffin.
A mausoleum.
And a mausoleum would
Why
be good.
not?
Yes.
And I see you being drawn by horses too.
No, I don't like the horse bit. No, I like a nice limousine with maybe outriders or something. and whatever. But yes, I want people that are dressed in black. I want you weeping and wailing.
Oh, I'll
Isabel.
be weeping.
I want you dabbing your eyes like that.
I want to do a reading, but you don't seem fussed about that.
Well, you can do a reading if you want. As long as you don't mess it up.
Pre-agreed. Yeah, you can do a reading at mine. There you go. Deal.
What will you read?
I don't know.
I'm doing a reading at a funeral this week.
Are you?
I'm in demand for readings at
You
funerals.
love going to funerals.
It comes to us all, doesn't it?
My
We
parents
used to go
love
to
a
a lot
good
of
funeral.
weddings and hen parties, and now we're on to the funerals.
Yeah. At least you've got the outfit.
See, yes, I embrace the summer colour, which I think leads us on to Biggins' stories.
Yes.
So
Come on then.
Yeah, in the pink.
pieces of it.
So I think we're all so excited about this new film coming out, which is just wonderful.
Well, you clearly are. Look at what you're wearing.
Well, I know. I'm trying to encourage the son and also encourage this film. I mean, it's.
Would you actually go and see that?
What?
Would you go and see that?
Oh, I can't wait to see the
Oh,
Barbie
can I come
film.
with you? No one else I know wants to go.
We'll go.
Should we do an outing to see Barbie?
Definitely will go.
I'd love to
I'll
see
organise
that.
I'm
that.
busy that day. I'm at a funeral.
No, I think it's going to be wonderful. I think it's absolutely. I think she is terrific. And in Seoul, where they had the premiere last night, she wore pink, all pink, just like her Barbie doll. And I think he's great, Ken.
Yeah,
too.
I love Ken as
Oh,
well.
I like.
Oh,
Ken.
we're going to have a great
Oh,
time.
that'd be lovely.
I look
We'll
forward
have
to
dinner
that.
afterwards.
I mean, lots of controversy about it. Do you think it's a bit of a, we love a bit of controversy about everything?
Oh, there will always be somebody offended by something. But look, it's a great, fun movie. I grew up with Barbie dolls and I loved them. And I thought they were a great invention.
Well, I didn't grow up with Barbie dolls, and
One of
I
four
have
boys.
no interest at all whatsoever. Margot Robbie is a beautiful attraction to
Yes,
anything.
she's
Yeah.
But no.
I mean, I'm not. So I'm with you, Eamonn. We'll go somewhere else. I'm
Yeah.
not rushing out to see it, but I don't see why you can't have something like this, especially in the summer. Why not? Let's have a little bit of fun.
Yes.
The news is so dire at the moment.
Yes.
This is brightening it up, and I think, all fair play to them. Margot Robbie is amazing. Ryan Gosling, awesome actor as well.
Absolute
so it will
dream.
be great fun. But I think
we'll be
I'll take
surprised.
Eamonn out for a non-pint somewhere else.
I think we're going to be very surprised because I think it will absolutely storm the ratings. I think and that's what the cinema needs.
Yeah.
Because at the moment everything is bad. Theatre's bad.
Yeah.
Cinemas.
I'm looking forward to Mission Impossible. It's out in the next couple of weeks. So I think
Yeah, that'll be good.
The new
Did you
Indiana
have a Mission
Jones.
Impossible doll? Did you when you were a child?
What?
An action man.
An action man.
I did have Action Man, yeah.
Did you?
I had 13 Action Man, yeah.
Did 13?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Action sailor, action soldier, action diver, action astronaut, the whole bit. So listen, here's a great idea. Not as a great idea. It's ingenious. In Moscow, Putin's protection people fear that the Americans are trying to kill him with what, Claire?
These are killer mosquitoes.
Right?
The paranoid Russian politicians believe America to be genetically modifying mosquitoes in an attempt to launch an assault attack on Moscow. I just think that it highlights quite how mad and worried and insular Russian politicians are becoming. They are only looking at their own media, they are not stepping outside of their own circle, and they are just paranoid. And I thought this highlighted it. The very thought of a mosquito being genetically modified to go and kill Russians. It's something out of a science fiction.
Except it is all the rage now, because just in this last week in Cyprus, they've released, I don't know if you call them a herd or a swarm,
Yeah.
whatever you call them, a bunch of mosquitoes that have been genetically modified with a nuclear technique to remove dangerous diseases like yellow fever. And the idea is that they'll breed, they'll become the dominant mosquito, and then the rise of these worrying infectious diseases as Europe gets hotter is actually reduced. So it's absolutely fascinating what they're doing. And I have to just say, from my own experience last year, I've gone to Mallorca my whole life. Last year I went in October. They'd had a wet, very, very wet September and a very, very hot October. We were eaten alive for the first time.
Really?
We didn't enjoy it. People were dying in mainland
Oh my
Spain
goodness.
from new types of variations of mosquito-borne diseases. So they are using these new techniques. So the Russians aren't completely barking up the wall. But as Eamonn says, how can they work out that it would
Guaranteed.
just kill Putin?
But that's the thing. So you set off a swarm, herd, whatever the collective
I like a
noun
herd
is.
of mosquitoes.
Herd of mosquitoes. And are you going to guarantee they're only going to Moscow and they're only going to get Russians? Because I think that's a little bit...
Or Putin.
Or Putin himself.
That's
Yeah, I
ridiculous.
mean, how can you program the mosquito to do that? I mean, I can see that, as you say, that when you're looking at infectious diseases and the genetically modifying insects, yes, it's possible, and yes, science is fantastic, and you're looking at it for crop protection and things like that. But I think just to go out there to kill, like a little army of sort of flying assassins. It doesn't quite ring true.
Yeah.
I've got a few names I could give them here. Few people.
Got a list.
Yeah, a list.
Isabel is a great visitor and frequenter of Amsterdam. But Biggins, there are plans to change the way Amsterdam looks or what it's known for.
I know this is the new mayor of Amsterdam who plans to move the prostitutes from the canals and those lovely windows, which we all love to go and see, and which is just ridiculous. And everybody is protesting about it. The locals are protesting against it because everybody knows that this is what brings an income.
But they have said, they've come out and said, we don't want to attract particularly British tourists anymore. Even though the red light district is a huge magnet for the stag do's and everything, they just literally go to those 3 canals basically in the centre of town. But as Eamonn said, I was there 2 weekends ago and my husband and I were saying, well, how are they actively stopping people from coming or deterring people from coming? I think it's the big stag packages are not being promoted as Amsterdam anymore. It's sort of Prague or wherever else it might be that all these groups go. But we were on a flight. The row in front of us was on a stag do. The guys beside us and the guys behind us, 8 in the morning, all pissed out of their minds, shouting over each other. The 2 of us were just sitting there. It was awful.
It's really
I do feel sorry for Amsterdam in that sense.
And I think you're right, and it moves on to different areas, and different cities have their own problems. Like Prague has had issues, and certain parts of the sort of Balearics have also had their problems. But I think moving something which has got a historical sort of purpose being there feels wrong. It feels that you're not taking.
What were you doing there?
My husband used to live there, so we've still got lots of friends.
Oh, I see. You were just visiting friends. You weren't there for the.
I wasn't there for the red light district.
No.
So I was watching yesterday on Netflix, I think it was. If you watched Young, Fun and Banged Up in the Sun, you'll not.
What? Was this because Country File was on 2 hours later? You had
2 hours later.
You had to watch Young, Fun and Banged Up in the Sun.
You were probably watching Koonsberg or something, but I was watching Young, Fun and Banged Up in the Sun. And I tell you, you would not want to be going on holiday and revelling.
And behaving badly.
Behaving badly, exactly, Claire.
This is it.
Thank you for both behaving so well today, both of you.
And I'll see you
Biggins,
at Barbie.
You will.
Thank you.
Look
Thank you
forward to
very
it.
much.
I'll look into it.
Fabulous. Right, we're just arranging our Barbie date. Don't mind us.